MidAmerica Industrial Park's Living Grand on Grand Lake is presented by Cherokee GROVE and made possible by
At the MidAmerica Industrial Park in Pryor, there are over 100 jobs waiting for someone just like you. These are high-paying jobs that don't require a degree. With over 80 manufacturing plants to choose from, it's easy to find your dream career. Need training? Don't worry, because MidAmerica provides on-campus classes supported by employers. If you have recently graduated from high school and want to start a career in manufacturing, earning a great wage and benefits, visit MidAmericaDelivers.com to learn more.
Watched by viewers and members like you.
Coming up on Living Grand on Grand Lake, you're never too old for sunsets and skiing. 20,000 people invade Northeast Oklahoma, and we'll show you why. And we'll show you where to go for your next cup of joe. All this and more coming up on Living Grand on Grand Lake.
This is Living Grand on Grand Lake.
And this is Living Grand on Grand Lake.
And this is Living Grand on Grand Lake. Cheers.
There's nothing better than a Grand Lake sunset, unless you're enjoying that sunset with one of your best friends and a glass of wine while relaxing after your weekly ski session. That's exactly what Donna Bell and her friend Pam Hughes do each week. They hit the lake together to ski and then relax afterwards as they float along, enjoying the sunset and a glass of their favorite vino. You know, I would normally never disclose someone's age, but these girls are proud of the fact that in their 50s and 60s, they still have a weekly ski session.
My parents taught me how to ski here on Grand Lake, and I'm going to say I was probably about 6 years old. And so my mother would stand in the shallow water and hold my skis together until I took off into the water, took off on the skis.
I grew up in Arkansas, and I skied behind my father's Ranger bass boat. I was 5 years old, and I had my older brother and my older sister on each side of the ski holding the ski up because I was so little, I couldn't do it. And my dad hammered it, I popped right up. Swung around by the shoreline where my mother was sitting because she's not a water person, and she stood up and was just doing her finger like that, like, get my baby out of there, you know. It wasn't a pleasant experience for her, but it was a wonderful experience for me. Ever since then, I've always been into water sports, whether it was skiing, jet skiing, you know, wake surfing, you name it. Now wake surfing is the latest and greatest, so try it all. I like to try it all.
Oh gosh. I don't know, I probably started slalom skiing at about 19, and that was more scary to me then, but it didn't take long where I thought I had a handle on it. However, my brothers were always better at it than I was.
I found Grand Lake, it's been about a little over 20 years ago, and me and my husband, we actually moved to Tulsa, and we had the opportunity to move up here with some business partners, and we just fell in love and have been here ever since. Actually sold our Tulsa house and moved up here in our lake house full time about 3 years ago, and have zero plans to go anywhere. We love it that much.
Well, she moved in beside me in, 2011, and so we just started going out, and then I said, you need to go out and let's ski. And so just the last few summers, that's what we've done.
Pam and her family were right next door to us, and we slowly, you know, would do dinner, and she's such a great cook, and I'm a horrible cook, and she would bring me over things, so she won her way to my heart through the kitchen, and it was just instant friendship, and we just started going out boating with one another. And after the crazy weekends are over, me and her always made a pact. Our husbands will take us out. We'll go out on a weekday, and we just enjoy skiing. It keeps us healthy. It's good exercise. And like she said, her goal is to ski till she's 70. And if I can, I want to just fit in her skis and ride her wave, you know, just like her.
Right. We wait until everyone's gone from the lake on the weekends and it's like the ocean out there. Go out on the weeknight when it's nice and calm and smooth and have our little ski time and a glass of wine afterwards.
Well, now that's where the professionalism comes in. Once the skiing's over, you have to be a true professional and you have to learn how to hold a wine cup and drive off into the sunset and relax after a hard evening of skiing.
What I am doing right now is teaching my grandkids how to ski. And I did the same thing just a few weeks ago with them, but we were in deep water, but I got out there and held their skis, and they took off like little corks, popped right out.
I did. I have nieces and nephews, and but these days they're up here on the weekend and they just like to get in the boat and hang out. So not much water sporting goes on the weekends, but they all definitely learned.
Now what I like is that I can still do it. My goal is to make it until I'm 70. And then we'll see. If it gets to 70, maybe I can make it a higher number.
Yeah, especially if you're up here on a weekday. We'll take any of you women out skiing. Anybody that wants to go, we'll just form our own women's ski club.
They are two examples of the special spirit on Grand Lake, where friendships come first, where sunsets are meant to be admired, and where your age will never hold you back. Stay with us. We'll be right back with more on Living Grand on Grand Lake.
And this is Living Grand on Grand Lake.
And this is Living Grand on Grand Lake.
And this is Living Grand on Grand Lake.
At the MidAmerica Industrial Park in Pryor, there are over 100 jobs waiting for someone just like you. These are high-paying jobs that don't require a degree. With over 80 manufacturing plants to choose from, it's easy to find your dream career. Need training? Don't worry, because MidAmerica provides on-campus classes supported by employers. If you have recently graduated from high school and want to start a career in manufacturing, earning a great wage and benefits, visit MidAmericaDelivers.com to learn more.
So one of the things that we have on Grand Lake is we have several businesses that are open in the evening in several places for people to go eat dinner by boat. So a lot of people don't boat at night, and one of the things to remember is no matter how familiar you are with the lake looks different every night because there's different lights on every night. So make sure you know where you're going, and obviously we discourage the consumption of alcohol and driving a vessel, but more importantly, make sure your vessel's set up to operate at night and make sure you know how to operate your vessel at night. It's not uncommon for us to stop somebody out here that either don't have their navigation lights on or only have part of their navigation lights on and they don't know how to turn them on. And not only is that embarrassing for them, but it's just tremendously dangerous for the other vessels that are out at night. And if you're going to be out at night, check your lights before you leave. It's a great idea to carry a spare bulb and the tools to change them because they do burn out at the most inopportune times. So again, if you're going to go out at night, know where you're going, be familiar with that, and make sure all the equipment on your vessel is working.
And now, time for the Living Grand on Grand Lake events page. End the summer with an exciting family trip to Disney, Oklahoma for some Labor Day climbing. Off-road through the rocks August 30th through September 3rd. For more information, call 918-435-5577. Are you Grand Lakers ready for a real on-the-water concert experience? Save the date and join us for this year's Redneck Raft Out. The Redneck Raft Out will be held on Saturday, August 31st. Grand Lake's own party band, Lickety Split, will be rocking the stage in Check-In Bay during Labor Day weekend from noon to 5 p.m. Follow the event on Facebook for more information. Every weekend throughout the summer, Bernice Nature Center provides activities for the whole family with a focus on learning experiences for children. Each weekend will include a different topic. Hikes and crafts will also be a part of the program. Visitors will see insects, butterflies, birds, and reptiles. Each session is held on Saturdays and Sundays at 10 a.m., 1 p.m., and 3 p.m. For more information, call 918-257-8330. Well, that's it for now from the Living Grand on Grand Lake events page. Welcome back to MidAmerica Industrial Park's Living Grand on Grand Lake, presented by Cherokee Grove Casino.
Just a short drive from the shores of Grand Lake is the D-Day Adventure Park, a massive paintball complex in Wyandotte, Oklahoma. It's where Dwayne Converse found a way to honor his grandfather, who served our country and was on Utah Beach during the Normandy invasion. For the past 22 years, Dwayne and his team have organized Oklahoma D-Day, a week-long paintball battle that focuses on family fun while providing a tiny glimpse of what his grandfather might have experienced on D-Day. With more than 4,000 players from 34 different countries, D-Day attracts more than 20,000 players, spectators, and fans to Northeast Oklahoma.
Well, my grandfather was on Utah Beach, and so he died in 1996, and I wanted to start something where it'd be kind of a memorial for him, and that's how this started, was the concept of Enos Armstrong. And so right now we're at 22 years. We've had 4,100 players playing at one time on this facility. And when you do math with who they bring and everything, it's 20,000 people. That's a small town that you have to deal with. So I turned into a mayor of that town.
We kind of broke up the original paintball game from one day. Now it's into 3 days for scoring. And it gives the players a little bit of a break, and it lets them appreciate the history behind the Normandy invasion and get to experience a very small smidgen of what it was like to be on Omaha Beach or Utah Beach.
Obviously, it's called Oklahoma D-Day because it's based on the Allied invasion. We're celebrating 75 years as a nation of that invasion. And what Dwayne has done is recreated on his property, the Omaha Beach, the Utah Beach, and he's brought that real life flavor to a paintball game.
It's for the kids, for sure. When we see young people coming out with their parents and participating in this and growing the sport of paintball, it really makes you feel good.
Well, we have had as many as 34 different people from different countries. So when you say in 34 different countries, that's a lot of people. We've had them from Portugal, we've had them from Spain, Australia, New Zealand, China, Taiwan. We've had them. I mean, they've come from everywhere, but one of our biggest pools, believe it or not, is Canada, and believe it or not, Mexico. They come up and they play, and they have a great time.
100%. A lot of the guys that lead these units or have led these units in the past have military experience, of course. They bring enough of that to their units to where it's fun and it's not as much work as being in the military, which is kind of awesome. I mean, you can hear what's going on in the structure. There's a lot of structure in these units, which is impressive, because organizing a bunch of people you don't know isn't easy. Absolutely, it's Axis versus Allies, and they take it seriously. I think the Axis have won the last 4 years, I think, but the Allies took Utah Beach yesterday. So we'll see what happens.
Well, the camera guys were doing the Omaha Beach with us this morning. So the camera guy, he got the experience of going across the boat, and I wanted him to feel that rickety boat, and then you're anticipating that door going down, for him to be able to put a film together because of his experience. And that's what I wanted for the kids. I want them to ride the boat across to have that experience. So Omaha Beach is the absolute toughest paintball game there is in the country, of how it laid out, and they've got to go up and take these gun emplacements, and they have to They have to do it in a certain time. So this is a 2.5-hour game?
Yeah, today's game's 2.5 hours. And one of the perks to scoring more points than the other team today is tomorrow they'll get choice field position as they go into the invasion of France side of it.
It's all about adrenaline. You know, the paintball is one of those things that people do it, and two things happen. They enjoyed themselves, and they'll do it again if somebody asks them to, or they become addicted to it, and they just want to continue to do it. It's a camaraderie, the camping. Like, there are people that come here just for the camp life, and then they might participate in the games throughout the week. So it's a community thing, for sure.
Well, you know, a lot of people ask me a question about who plays this game. Well, I'll tell you who plays it. The people that's either prior military or maybe their grandfather served and they want to be an Army guy. And they grew up wanting to be an Army guy. And maybe they were. But now they've got kids, and the kids are coming out. And so it's a family event. That's what I think I have probably the most satisfaction, don't you, about the fact that majority of the players is a family coming out for their vacation. Well, a lot of people ask me, why do we keep doing it year after year? Well, when you have a kid that walks off and he's had the best time, that's it.
Yeah. Yep.
'Cause that was me.
You can learn more about the awesome Oklahoma D-Day Adventure Park at ddaypark.com or find them on Facebook. While you're online, visit us at rsu.tv. Click on shows and then Living Grand, where you can watch episodes from all of our past seasons. And don't forget to follow us on Facebook as well. We'll be right back with more on Living Grand on Grand Lake.
This is Living Grand on Grand Lake.
This is Living Grand on Grand Lake.
Grand Lake's newest destination for great fun is located just off the lake in Grove. At Cherokee Grove, you'll experience exceptional food and outstanding service. Stop in to relax with your favorite drink and root for your team on the big screen. Experience live local music on the 1897 stage every weekend. Cherokee Grove on Highway 59 at East 250 Road. It's the most fun you'll have off the water.
At Rogers State University, we keep things personal.
It all starts here.
We make sure our graduates get the most out of their education.
RSU has campuses in Claremore, Bartlesville, and Pryor, with on-campus housing and a wide variety of programs to suit your needs.
It all starts here.
Rogers State University.
Every day, the employees of the Grand River Dam Authority strive for excellence by focusing on the 5 E's: employees, electricity, environmental stewardship, economic development, and efficiency. We do this by producing low-cost, reliable electricity that touches 75 of the 77 counties in the state. At no cost to the taxpayers, we also manage 70,000 surface acres of lakes and the scenic Illinois River. Annually, the efforts of Team GRDA facilitate over $450 million in economic activity for Oklahoma.
Welcome back to MidAmerica Industrial Park's Living Grand on Grand Lake, presented by Cherokee Grove.
Andrew Crawford had always dreamed of owning his own restaurant someday. After working in and managing several restaurants and even venturing into the financial industry, Andrew knew the time had come to make his dream a reality. Andrew grew up spending summers and holidays with his family on Grand Lake. He loved the area and felt Grove was the perfect location to open up his own cafe. Andrew and his wife Megan opened Crawford's Bakery to rave reviews. They offered delicious sandwiches, salads, breakfast, fabulous coffee, and baked goods. Andrew has also mastered the art of baking gluten-free and usually offers a few gluten-free options each day. Introducing the new Crawford's Bakery and Cafe.
Well, it all really started actually with a conversation I was having with my stepmom on the phone. I was doing sales at the time, And we were talking one night, and she was just asking me about, you know, do you feel like you're fulfilling your call in life? And I really got to thinking about that, and that made me come to the decision that, you know, I'm not doing what I love, and I should give it a shot. And so she was the one who really pushed Megan and I to go after this.
It was my mother-in-law who really, you know, pushed us to go out here, but it was really my decision. I knew that that's what he wanted to do. You know, he's really passionate about it, and I knew that it wasn't fulfilling for us to live in Kansas City with him working kind of, you know, those type of jobs, sales jobs, and so I said, you know what, let's pick up and move. Let's go to Grove and open up this business because I know it's going to be the best thing for us. And I'm so happy we did.
Well, we actually met through mutual friends. One of my really good friends and one of her really good friends had worked together.
They actually lived together, and so I just went over to his house one day with my best friend, and that's how we met. So the first thing that he made for me was chicken parmesan, and I could not believe how good it was. No one had ever made me anything like that before. He is so talented. He's such a good cook and chef, and you know, he's just so personable and honest, and he makes a really good boss.
Yeah, well, I've been working in restaurants for about 12 years now. I started just out of high school, and so that was part of it, but also I always enjoyed baking and cooking growing up. I watched my grandmother as a fantastic chef, my mom as well. Learned tricks from both of them and just kind of combined that together with my knowledge of the restaurant industry, which I learned through serving, bartending, later managing. So put all that together, and that's where we're at.
So Andrew's parents live here, and so in order for us to, you know, be able to pull this off, we needed a lot of help with family, and so that's why we decided on Grove. And it was also a nice, you know, small town, and we like the small town feel, and so we're really happy to be here.
Megan is definitely the one who keeps me organized. She could tell you I'm kind of all over the place. I have a little bit of ADD, but she keeps it all organized. She helps everything on the business side. It would be her, and then that way I can just do my baking and cooking. And she's actually a great baker too, but she's definitely the one who keeps me together.
We're kind of yin and yang, you know, opposites, and so it works. I'd say he's more quiet and reserved, and I'm the more outgoing one. Oh my gosh, it took us forever to do the menu. I mean, we started, you know, months and months ago. And then almost to like the day before we opened, we were still just kind of, you know, modifying it. But it was cool. It was a cool process because that's usually an Andrew thing. He's the creative one and he comes up with the things, but I got to help with that as well. So it was a really good bonding experience for us.
I'm just very proud that we're basically a scratch kitchen. I mean, everything you're gonna get here is good quality food made from scratch. So I'd say, you know, things like my cinnamon rolls, I hand roll them. You know, every baked good you see we're making from scratch. So it's all gonna be fresh and we wanna keep it that way. Well, the great thing about this job that I've found is that it's truly a passion of mine, and that's the reason I wanted to do it, is because I knew that it wouldn't just be work, that it would be more. It would be me answering the call of, you know, the talents I was given, blessed with, and so I'm really proud of that.
Seeing Andrew happy is what makes me want to come back.
Crawford's Bakery is also a great place to meet up with friends or just enjoy a quiet moment with you and your coffee. Crawford's Bakery is located at 2230 South Main Street in Grove, just north of Honey Creek Bridge. They're open Tuesday through Saturday from 6 a.m. until 2 p.m. You can find them on Facebook or visit their website at crawfordsbakeryandcafe.com. Well, that's it for this edition of Living Grand on Grand Lake. I'm your host, Christy Wallace. Join us next week with more about the people, places, and events of Grand Lake.
And this is Living Grand on Grand Lake.
This is Living Grand on Grand Lake.
MidAmerica Industrial Park's Living Grand on Grand Lake is presented by Cherokee GROVE and made possible by.
At the MidAmerica Industrial Park in Pryor, there are over 100 jobs waiting for someone just like you. These are high-paying jobs that don't require a degree. With over 80 manufacturing plants to choose from, it's easy to find your dream career. Need training? Don't worry, because MidAmerica provides on-campus classes supported by employers. If you have recently graduated from high school and want to start a career in manufacturing, earning a great wage and benefits, visit MidAmericaDelivers.com to learn more.
Also by.
Every day, the employees of the Grand River Dam Authority strive for excellence by focusing on the 5 E's: employees, electricity, environmental stewardship, economic development, and efficiency. We do this by producing low-cost, reliable electricity that touches 75 of the 77 counties in the state. At no cost to the taxpayers, we also manage 70,000 surface acres of lakes and the scenic Illinois River. Annually, the efforts of Team GRDA facilitate over $450 million in economic activity for Oklahoma.
Plus by.
I had the drive to boost my earning power.
I was driven to be more competitive in the job market.
Finishing my degree, that's what drives me.
If you left college without a degree, Reach Higher, Oklahoma's degree completion program, can change your life. You get affordable tuition, flexible class schedules with online options, and a degree from a state university.
I was driven to earn my diploma.
And I did it.
Apply today at reachhigheroklahoma.org. Let your drive drive you.
And by viewers and members like you.